Gemini, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your March 2023 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana is going on for Gemini? What do we need to know for you? We have the Star. So your hopes and dreams and aspirations are being reached. So I tried to do your reading last night. What you had was the Temperance energy, the Ten of Wands, right? It was like you were trying to attain a goal and you were putting in so much effort until you kind of finally give up. But once you give up, once you finally take off that burden, it kind of felt like you were floating above the clouds. Because you had the Queen of Wands and the the Queen of Swords and the Six of Wands underneath. And remember, the Queen of Swords has a butterfly crown, and the Six of Wands represents floating above the crowd on a horse, or riding above the crowd. So you can see everyone below you. So that's really good with this Star energy, is that you have to understand that the angels don't arrive until the burden becomes like, it's absolutely insane, right? They're not going to appear to you until they see that you've reached your maximum limit. And that's kind of like, I feel like maybe weight training for you. Maybe that's what you're doing. You're going to the gym right here, but you're going to attain your goal. So what do we need to know about this Gemini energy, or this Star energy, this Aquarius energy? Oh, wrong deck. And that's the thing, is like once the burden becomes too much, once it's finally dropped, you finally understand what it was all for. The angels or the situation at hand is going to come in for you at the right time. And when I talk about angels, right, this is more or less, you're going through a really bad period, right? You just lost, say, some money, you don't know what to do, you don't have any food, and then all of a sudden you're just sitting there and your phone drops between the cushions of the couch, right? And you reach down and you find your phone with a $20 bill. And maybe when times were good, you just, didn't pay attention to how much money you have, but there's that $20 that's going to allow you to get food. It's kind of like that situation plays out for you exactly when it needs to happen. This is perfect timing. And that's what you have to understand about the angels, Gemini. They don't work on, just whenever. They work on when you physically cannot do anything anymore. So you have the King of Wands, or the King of Pentacles in reverse. You have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And you have the Ten of Wands upright. So there you go. There's that Ten of Wands energy. So you have the King of Pentacles in reverse, saying that you're bored about something. You don't find any happiness within something right here. The Knight of Wands represents you've charged into a lot of battles and ultimately they've kind of ended up in failure. This Ten of Wands, it almost feels like you put in so much effort into something. And I feel like in a way, you are happy. You have what you need, but it's not what you want. And I feel like that's the question right here. It's like you've put in so much effort, charged into all of these situations, done all of these things, but you're not seeing results. Or maybe you are seeing some sort of results, but they're not making you happy. They're not fulfilling you. You've put in a lot of effort for mediocre outcomes. But that's the thing, is the King of Pentacles is still the King of Pentacles. So what is the mediocre outcome? You have the Sun. And you have the Star. That's the thing. Okay. You've hit a goal, but you're wanting the rest of it now. And it almost feels unattainable for you. It's like you've reached multiple goals within your life, but you want the final conclusion. You want the constellation. Okay, Gemini. So that's what you have to understand right here, is that, you put in a lot of effort to get to a star. Remember, the Sun is a star. And so that's what you have to understand, is that you've reached the Sun. Well, you have to go and create the rest of the constellation within your life right here. You're still going to have to put in a lot more work to go on to the next goal. Because that's the whole point of your life, is that once you finally die and the High Priestess shows you the scroll of your life, or the angel reads off your life to you, you'll see all the major milestones and you will see the constellation that is your life. You're just reached a goal right here, and you're upset because you reached it. Because I kind of feel like I'm talking to someone who's maybe a really overachiever. And that's good, right? It's good to have ambition, but not ambitious to a fault. You have to celebrate your own triumphs within life, Gemini. Okay, even if they seem small. If you've celebrated or if you've attained something, that's good for you. So maybe you got that new job, that job that you always wanted, right? But it's still not enough because you don't have the house that you want. Well, that will come with time. It's still not enough because it's not the car that you want. Well, that will come with time. You know, there are major milestones. It's kind of like you want it all at once and you're not seeing all the stars along the way. And that's the problem with life, is that people live for the material stuff, but they're never happy with what they have, okay? Try to make the most of it. And that's what I'm seeing right here, is that you need to make the most of what you've gained. You have the Justice card with the Six of Wands coming out. So it will be balanced, because remember, I talked about that Queen of Swords with the Six of Wands. That's justice energy, because the Queen of Swords is Libra energy for you. So you will float above the clouds. You'll float past the sun. You will see the grand constellation of what you're trying to find within your life. What's this Ten of Wands? What do we need to know for you, Gemini? Oh, okay. Well, that card doesn't want to jump. Oh, that wants to jump. All these cards. Well, we have the Four of Pentacles. I'm only going to take the Four of Pentacles. I'm not going to look at the rest. You're holding on to everything. It's almost like being miserly, but not knowing what you have. And that's the whole point of the King of Pentacles in reverse right here, is that you're holding on to every single thing. Every heartbreak, every tragedy, but you're not realizing what you've gained along the way. The Chariot. You've gained a blending of harmony right here. You've gained knowledge and experience. And that's what you need to understand for yourself, Gemini. Life is not all about, you know, just attaining wealth and attaining things. It's about attaining knowledge and life experience and then blending them into something new. So taking what you have gained with the knowledge of life and with the knowledge of who you are as a human being, of what you like and what you don't like, and then coming together and merging them into something. It's like you don't want to put any more effort into anything else because all you've done is reach the sun. And you're like, is this really it? No, it's not all that there is, Gemini. There are more stars out there. And that's kind of what I feel like for you, is that you don't want to put out any more effort because you've reached a goal within your life. And maybe you've reached multiple goals, but you're like, this isn't enough. I've put in so much effort and energy to only reach this sun, but I want the stars. But maybe you don't see the stars. Maybe that's the problem for you, Gemini, is that you don't realize that in order to get from this sun, you have to, you know, travel again. You have to put in more work. You have to calculate your trajectory. You have to go, you know, all and do the same thing over again. If you want to get another star, or if you want to get to a constellation, you're going to have to get to this one star, put in the exact same amount of effort it took for you to get from point A to point B, put in that same amount of effort to get from point B to point C, and then C to D, right? And then that's the whole issue right here, is that you're not wanting to put in any more effort because you're not realizing the blending of harmonies. It does require more thought process. It does require more physical exertion, okay? You have the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Wands, and you have the Ten of Swords. I almost feel like you're waiting for defeat. It's like you've signed yourself off to death right here. You're just waiting for the ending. You're just waiting for the bitter end. But it's like depression. This is kind of like someone who's reached PhD level, and I've talked about this before. People who do their thesis and go through their PhD program and whatnot, they can suffer from extreme depression because that's all they've done for the past like 8 years of their life, is to get to that one goal, right? And then they look back on it and they're like, I don't know if all this effort was worth it, because now they don't have, you know, they're so ingrained to go to school every single day or every other day, right? They're so ingrained in studying this one thing to become masters of it. It's in their like regiment and their routine and all these other things. And then once they finally have the degree, they're not there at school anymore. They're not, you know, doing X, Y, and Z. So it's easy for them to sink into this level of depression because after 8 years, 10 years, whatever, of you doing that all the time, and that's what your main focus is, and that's what your main goal is, once it's gone, it's not gone. It's underneath the bed, okay? You still have the degree, or you still have that. That person who's done that program still has the PhD, right? They just need to rest. They need to recover, and they need to recuperate. And that's what I'm seeing right here, is that you're kind of looking at death saying, oh, well, it is what it is. You're signing yourself off to the Ten of Swords, the mental death of maybe it isn't worth living anymore. No, it is, because here's the thing, is that once you've recovered from whatever the situation is, you can move on to the next phase, which is to find a job. And then work for that company. And then do all the exciting things that you wanted to do originally. And it could also be that maybe you don't find excitement in that anymore. But I feel like what you need to do, and this is something, it's called burnout, right? That's what's going on with this Ten of Wands, is I feel like you feel a little burned out. This could be in a relationship, a job opportunity, school. Take some time off with that Four of Swords to go and find your hobbies that you like again. You've completed a goal, right? Maybe multiple goals. So take some time off for yourself to recover, to recuperate, to rest, to think, and focus on other things. And then eventually, and that's the thing about life, is that you cycle through phases, right? You will eventually find the love of that goal again. Sometimes you have to cycle through many different things. That's why I tell people to be well-rounded individuals, because once you're finally bored with something, you go on to something else, and go on to something else, and something else, and something else, and eventually you find your way back to this, the starting point. And you have a new love and a new self-interest and a new desire to want to do more with that skill. Put in some effort here, put in some effort here, and eventually, you'll go back around. Don't just do one thing and then hate it so much and not have any other hobbies and any other skills. So I feel like you've reached a major milestone. You're sinking here with depression of what do I do now? Well, there are many other options to do now, okay? If you're a farmer, if you've, got property, whatever, maybe your goal was to get that house with some land. Okay. Got the house with the land and now you're like, well, I'm stuck paying it. Well, no, that was your goal. Now you can farm. Now you can have a garden. Now you can have all these other things. Start researching more. You hit a goal. Now, what's next? Not the Ten of Swords. You have the King of Pentacles upright. You have the Page of Wands and the Lover's energy. Finding new interest in other things, okay? Finding a new hobby, something that's shiny, that connects you. And it could be something from your past right here. This is like not self-destructive behavior, but this is something that makes you happy from your past, okay? Maybe you completed something and now you're kind of bored with it and now you're like, well, I guess this is the end. No, maybe you like to do mechanic work, or maybe you like studying about cars. Maybe you like studying other things. Well, go and study that. Go and look at other things right here. Find the love in small things again, okay? And smaller hobbies. I had a phone call to take. So you have the Two of Wands representing that you have a new opportunity to go on. You're going to have a new lease on life. So what's being offered to you right here, Gemini, is you have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Swords. Something is being offered to you, some sort of new opportunity. But you're still plagued with anxiety. You have a new opportunity to go and celebrate, but at the same time, you're dealing with anxiety. Okay, so I feel like what's going on is it's kind of like when people leave stressful jobs and stressful situations within their lives and they have to go back and, celebrate with family, they can have moments of extreme depression and anxiety, really bad bouts of it, right? It's kind of like you've completed a major goal, completed a major cycle within your life, dealt with something, maybe dealt with really harsh issues. And then all of a sudden you're just back at home celebrating with a bunch of people again, right? And they don't know what you've been through. They don't know, this is kind of like having a stress disorder from something or someone. Like nothing is making you happy. And even when you're around people, you feel anxious, you feel upset. It's like you have these bad thoughts kind of circling around, even when you're around good people who care about you. The Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. And no matter what you receive, you're still going back and thinking about the old situation. No matter what's offered to you, no matter what's going on, no matter how far you get within life, you're still going around in circles. So here's the thing, Gemini. You don't need to find happiness in other people. What you need to do is you need to go and find your own happiness. And when I say find your own happiness, it's find your own hobbies and maybe be alone for a little bit. What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What are the things that made you happy? Was it listening to music? Was it studying different things? Was it, hey, just Googling random stuff on the internet and reading the Wikipedia page about it? It's all about the small things right here, the small things that interest you. This could be about, you know, small hobbies. Just know that you do have a support system that's around you. Maybe they make you nervous. Maybe they bring up bad anxiety. So, you know, some time alone would be a good thing, good option. Yeah, the 10 of Cups. So a happy ending for you, a good completion. It's all about paying attention to things from the past right here that made you, you know, want to go into your goal in the first place. What piqued your interest? What was the situation about? Understanding that you completed a goal, but there's still so much more for you. Not resigning yourself to the 10 of Swords and, you know, laying down and dying. And maybe being around people when they offer you stuff, you know, they offer you this cup of celebration. It's, you know, plaguing your mind because it's maybe not what you want to do. And that's the situation, is that I feel like you're doing things for other people, or maybe you're around other people right here. You need to focus on what you want to do. Some time alone, okay? And doing something constructive, not with a bottle, all right? Not with, you know, drugs and alcohol. You have the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Cups, with the Queen of Cups at the bottom. Hold on, let me get that. And you have the Wheel of Fortune coming out. So, what I'm seeing for you is that you have the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. This does represent a celebration, dream come true. You find that inspiration again. You find the pieces that make you happy with this Queen of Cups coming out. So this is time to think, to rest, to recover, to relax, to not focus on other people right here. To find some sort of relief for yourself. The 10 of Wands again, yeah, with the Emperor and the 7 of Pentacles. And then you'll go back onto your journey of becoming the Emperor, of putting more seeds and tilling the garden, so that way you can get from the sun into the rest of the stars again, Gemini. So this is a good reading, okay? Don't sit there and resign yourself to the mental death. Don't just sit there and think that it's all over. It's not all over, Gemini. You just need to find what makes you happy. Hello, Void, and release and accept. Release and accept the past right here. Release the past and accept that you have something new coming in. And maybe you don't know what the new is. And that could be very scary for you, Gemini, is that you don't know what the new is. That's kind of like when the person completes their PhD program. Well, what's next? They have all of these other things in the past and they don't know what's to come. And that's the whole point of life, is that you don't know. So release and accept the things from the past. And accept that there's a brand new opportunity. You're going to have to put in some work into it. But during this meantime, celebrate your past victories. Be thankful. Have some time alone. Understand you do have a group that's there to support you. Maybe they don't know what you've been through. Maybe they don't know what's going on within your mind. That's perfectly fine. But do things that are healthy and constructive. If you want to go see a movie by yourself, go see a movie. Be safe about it, though. You want to go and have dinner by yourself and just sit on your phone and look up, I don't know, random car parts or things from the past, the hobbies that made you happy, go and do that. Find yourself again. All right, so this is all about finding yourself again. So you reach a major milestone. It's not over. There's more to life. Finding major milestones is a whole point of life, is having more goals. And maybe you don't have a goal right now. But that's the thing, is that a lot of people, when they go through major experiences or really bad traumas or whatever, they feel like they don't have any goals. So release that into the universe. pray about it, think about it, and I feel like a goal will come to you. Something new, something brand new opportunity, okay? So malice with the goblin and brownie protection. So that's what's funny about this is you have duality, okay? I feel like you think that there's malicious energy around you, and even if there is, you're protected from it. I feel like it's the dark thoughts, all right? The dark thoughts are the malice, but you're protected. And so you need to think about that for yourself as how much you've gone through and how you're still alive and how you're still here, okay? And this isn't about, I mean, maybe someone is having, suicidal thoughts. That's the Ten of Swords. But understanding that there is more. It's all about the small things, okay? The small things, the little things can make you happy. Even if it's just having a little collection of something. And it could be a really, just off-the-wall collection. Maybe you like to collect, bugs. I don't know. Pin them down. Maybe you like to collect makeup. It's something like that. That will really help you move forward, okay? Brownies clean up messes. They're kind of like little guardian angel spirits, and goblins are like little demonic spirits. So I feel like you're dealing with, your good conscious and your bad conscious all at the same time. So don't give into your bad conscious, because underneath the bed with the Four Swords is a brand new situation. You just can't see that yet. You have winter, the sacredness of pausing, dawn, the light after the darkness. This is just a pause right here. This is just a break, and that's what you need, Gemini, is that you do need a break. So take a nap, drink some water. That would be a good thing. Maybe not even just drink water. Drink something with electrolytes, okay? Take a nap, wake up, take a shower. And I feel like slowly over time, the dawn will, the dawn will come. This is just a dark period. It's not all that there is. There is so much more to life than what you think. I'll explain that a little bit later. So anyway, what do we need to know for you, Gemini, with this? I'm going to be using the Rune Tarot. Not his needs. Needs, self-restraint, disappointment, avoidance of greed, patience, simplification. Spiritual meaning is asceticism, transcendence in the soul. Simplify things, okay? Yeah, you're going through some disappointment. But don't go into this greedy energy of where you want it all at once. It will come over a period of time with patience. You must transcend things, and it's kind of like learning how to deal with, because here's the thing, what happens if you got everything all at once, too? What would you do then? A lot of people who have everything all at once who just become rich overnight, they become really depressed because they don't have any goals left. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, is that I'm not saying to just, spend your whole life working for something. I feel like what this is right here is that you've completed a major milestone, there's depression, or you've gone through something that's left you into a major depression, but you've completed a cycle. And it doesn't always have to be getting a PhD. It could be like you finally left that really toxic person within your life, right? You finally made it through that. And you feel a little bit upset or you're feeling depressed because maybe that person was in your life for 20, 30 years. This is that point where you say, you know what, that was a major goal. You did that. Moving on to the next step. It's finding yourself again. Finding yourself is finding all the things that you weren't allowed to do with that person or around that person. And you're not going to find it within other people. They can be a good support system, but if you get really scared and anxious when you're around them, then find peace by, starting a little rock collection, going outside, getting some fresh air, starting a feather collection. That's cheap and easy. You have Rado. Speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. You have animals and psychic abilities. And you know what? That's the thing, is maybe this could be something interesting for you, is studying the psychic abilities of animals. The psychic abilities of animals is paying attention to the omens. Like, when cats act really crazy, an earthquake could be on the way. when birds go nuts, that can be representation of, you know, a huge storm about to happen. Like, I feel like that might be something interesting for you, is studying the spirituality of animals. Listening, it's not really spirituality, it's a science behind them. They can sense things in the air. And that could be that butterfly effect from the Queen of Swords energy. Maybe you need to, you know, look at the butterfly effect. It's something about like monarch butterflies. Their wings, when they touch the air, when they're in like a swarm, can cause storms, like huge major storms on the other side of the globe. I feel like that might be a new interest for you, is studying the concept of animals, the psychic abilities of animals right here. So let's look at your, one more card from here. You have the truth. So the truth will be revealed to you. Some sort of truths in the mirror, all right? Opening your third eye. So I feel like an animal is going to show you something. And maybe that's what, you know, you've always wanted to do. You wanted to take care of animals. Maybe that's a major goal. So anyway, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.